Good morning, my loves. Happy Saturday. Another glorious day here at the lake. It's in the 80s. It's gorgeous. It's Arizona. What do you expect? I am answering a DM today from someone that is getting ready to go out of state to college next year. They're a little nervous. They're a little, they got a little anxiety. They don't know if they're going to know anybody at the new school. Can they cut it? Kind of where they are now, they are a big fish in a small pond. They're going away to college. They're going to be a small fish in a huge pond. So they wanted my words of wisdom. So I sent them a DM back. I said, tell me a little bit about your family, where you came from, things like that, for a reason. They did. So I told them I would be posting this morning, so they are expecting this answer, okay? Finn is here helping. So, my love, I want you to think about something. By your last name and by the things that you told me, your ancestors are not from America, right? That's obvious. And that's great. They came here hundreds of years ago. They came to New York through Ellis Island, from what you said. Do you know, from the country they came from, could they read and write? Were they illiterate? Which, that's not saying anything bad. Centuries ago, a lot of people weren't. They knew the culture of their country, right? They knew the laws. They knew what worked, what wouldn't, what they could get away with, what they couldn't, how to dress, the religion. They knew the ways of their country, and they came. They had the courage to load up and come to America for whatever reasons. That took a lot of courage. They got here. Could they speak English? Could they read? Could they write? Did they understand what was even being said to them? When they got to Ellis Island and they were asked their name and they told him, when they wrote it down, did they even get it close to right? Because so often, especially centuries ago, they would totally butcher the last name. And that's your name now. Congratulations, it's no longer this, it's close. Now it's this. They made it work. They came here as immigrants. They had the courage to get on the boat, to get on the whatever, and they made it here. And they put in the work, the effort, and they made it. If they could come from another country and make it work, and obviously they did, because sweetheart, you are here. You are living proof that they made it. I think you can probably handle going to a school in another state where you do read and write English. You're educated. You know the laws. You may not know what's, the norms of that university. You'll catch on. You're going to do fine. Because look at the opportunities in front of you because of them. If they had the courage and the strength, the determination to make it here, honey, you can make it in college in a different state. Okay? It's okay to be nervous, to have that anxiety, to have the flutters, the tears, the fears. Honey, that's perfectly normal. That is so normal. Anytime people start a new job, that happens. When I moved from the Midwest to Arizona, trust me, I had a little anxiety about it at times, but I did it. I do not regret it. It was a big move during COVID, but I did it. I don't regret it. I want you to go to school, and I want you to do the best you can every day. Do not expect perfection from yourself. Your ancestors didn't expect perfection from themselves. They did the best they could every day. And every day they did better than the day before. That's what I want from you. Do your best every day. Make today better than yesterday. Tomorrow's going to be better than today. And honey, you've got this. And I am so proud of you and your GPA and your major. And I have to say, if you don't stick with your major, most people don't. That's okay. Don't worry about it. Be you. Just be you. Okay? And thank you for the DM. Now, the second part of this, I want to share something. Right now, there is a lot of trauma drama about immigration. We all know that. Racism and how it snowballs. I mean, it's just a hot mess. But I want you all to think about something, okay? This is not politically correct. I'll tell you that right now. If you are not indigenous to the United States, meaning if you and your family are not Native American, if you are not Inuit from Alaska, if you are not Mexican from Mexico, because at one time, California, Mexico was one big thing. Honey, if you are not one of those, you are an immigrant. If your skin is white, baby, you are an immigrant. I'm sorry, it's true. Do the DNA testing. Now, I did. In 2019, I did it. Yeah, it was not what I expected. Opened up a little bit of a Pandora's box, but I'm glad I did it. I'm adopted. I know. My mom had said something on her deathbed. Daddy never wanted to discuss it. If you know my dad, it made sense. He was one of those sweep the problem under the rug, we don't talk about these things. So in 2019, I did the DNA testing. Not about that, but just on a whim to find out some other things. My adoptive family, the family that raised me, my mom's family was Cherokee. They were indigenous. If you see family photos of of her family, I mean, her grandma, Lizzie, I mean, could not be more Native American if she tried. I mean, it's just so obvious. I have a photo of her holding me, and I love it. I cherish that photo. But she was, she was a Cherokee woman. She was beautiful, tiny, petite little thing with a lot of fire in her. But that would have been my adoptive mom's grandmother. Okay. My adoptive dad's family was from England. They came over because the family has done the research and all that in the 1600s. Well, immigrant, obviously. Okay. So that took care of that. So when I did the DNA testing, that's kind of what I was expecting. Yeah, no, I am, and I'm very proud of this, I am French, Belgian, Scottish, and Welsh, and 2% Tongan. Who would have thought? There you go. And you know what surprised me more than anything? The French Belgian. It did. I love it. I mean, the Scottish Welsh, honey, I've had red hair my entire life. That kind of goes without being said. But the French Belgian, wow, I love that. The Tongan, it makes sense if you think about people, societies, slavery. I mean, America wasn't the only place that had slaves. Whether it was people that fell in love, whether it was rape, I have no idea. I just know I have ancestors who are Tongan. I love that. I do. I think it's wonderful. Until you do the DNA testing, be careful what you're saying. Now, I did it with one company. Being a nurse, I understand labs make mistakes. So I repeated the test with another company. I got the exact same results. All the way down to the 2% Tongan. That's great. That shows accuracy. I absolutely love this. That's why I am so accepting of cultural diversity, and I embrace that because that's who I am. Now, I do know just a little smidgen about my biological parents. They were only children. Their parents, my maternal and paternal grandparents, were only children. I have no family. Other than, my son and my granddaughter, of course. But I have no family, and I'm cool with it. That's okay. But I know that their families were French, Belgium, Welsh, Scottish, and 2% Tongan. Well, maybe 4%. I don't know what the numbers were for them. But I love that. So before you start making racist remarks, before you start throwing, the word immigrant around, look at your skin, get a DNA test. Yeah. Find out who you are. Be prepared for the results. Buckle up. May not be what you expect. I mean, obviously, my biological family had been in America for hundreds of years. I was born and raised in America. And were you? Look at your skin. Look at your DNA. Watch what comes out of your mouth. Because you may be insulting your own people. You never know. Think about it. Be careful. Be careful what falls out of your mouth. People that are making fun of other people, get the DNA test. Don't lie about it. Do it with 2 different companies. And if your family came over by plane, by boat, by raft, you're an immigrant. And that's cool. Most of us aren't. And never, ever tell an indigenous person to go home. Because, honey, this is their home. We're the intruders. Keep that in mind. And if this pisses somebody off, yeah, too bad. Because it's the truth. It is the honest to God truth. There you go.